Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Taylor Cole, your personal astrologer. We are going to talk about rising signs today. This is a topic that is very, very confusing for people when they're just starting to learn about astrology. I know it was really confusing for me. I remember someone asking me, what's your rising sign? And I was just like, huh? Which was really weird to me because I thought that I knew like a lot about astrology back then. I really didn't know anything, but I thought I did. So let's avoid that scenario for you, and let's just inform you of what a rising sign is. Okay, so we all know our sun sign. The sun sign is just the sign that the sun was in at the time of your birth. So it takes approximately 30 days for the sun to move through a sign in the zodiac. And if you're born while the sun is in a sign for one of those 30 days, you're going to say, I'm an Aries, or I'm a Gemini, or I'm a Taurus, depending on where the sun was, of course. That's the sign that everyone knows. So I was born May 28th. That is when the sun is in the sign of Gemini. So I would say I'm a Gemini. You probably shouldn't say that. I probably, to be honest, I wouldn't really say I'm a Gemini anymore because the rising sign is where it's all at. Let's be real. The rising sign is what you need to know if you want to really understand astrology. So we have the sun sign, which is that 30-day little period of time where the sun is in a sign, which is, it's very useful. It's a useful thing to know. It does describe a lot about who you know yourself to be on the inside. It describes a lot about like what your interests and motivations are. And yes, it does describe a little bit about your personality. However, your rising sign is the sign that was rising at the time of your birth. So the sun rises each day, but so do each of the zodiac signs. Depending on what time you were born, you're going to have a different sign that was rising, and that's your rising sign. If you think about this in like a symbolic nature, imagine looking off into the horizon and seeing a sign rise. That is something that's emerging into existence. It's emerging into public view. And then if you apply that to you as a person, that sign that was rising is going to be the sign that is emerging into the public view. That's the sign that everyone's going to see. When you introduce yourself, hi, I'm Taylor, you're going to be seeing my rising sign. I will give you some examples. Alright, so I am a Gemini sun sign. I was born May 28th, as I said. That is when the sun is in Gemini. That is a big part of my personality. I love to learn. That's a Gemini thing. I love to learn like a little bit about everything. That's another Gemini thing. I am talkative. I do love to communicate and express myself. All Gemini qualities. I'm curious, Gemini. But when you first meet me, even once you know me, you're going to see that Gemini sun reflected through this Aquarius rising sign. So everything gets filtered through the rising sign. You're going to meet someone who is friendly, social, but a little bit detached. I'm not going to be engaging right off the bat. I'm not going to get in a conversation and try to connect with someone deeply the first time I meet them, just because I'm an Aquarius rising. We're a little bit standoffish at first. We're friendly, we're nice, we'll say hi, we'll come talk to you, but there's a little bit of distance at first. That's not necessarily the case with a Gemini. It definitely is the case with an Aquarius. And that is just something that is always present with me. I'm an Aquarius rising. I'm very opinionated. That's Aquarius. I'm very vocal about my opinions. That's Aquarius. I can defend a point until it is proven to be incorrect. That is Aquarius. And I have a strong sense of this is right, this is wrong. Aquarius is big on ethics, what is right and what is wrong. Gemini isn't necessarily not interested in ethics, but it's not inherent to that sign. Depending on your rising sign, and some other things in your birth chart too, but one of the big ones is your rising sign. That's going to tell you something about your health. That's going to tell you something about the areas of your body that you need to take extra care of. If you are a Gemini rising, you need to watch out for your lungs. You probably, sometimes you may have a tendency to have seasonal allergies that cause some irritation of the lungs and breathing stresses. If you are an Aries, you probably occasionally have a migraine or a headache. If you are, because Aries rules the head. If you are an Aquarius rising, maybe you sprain your ankles a lot, or maybe you have nervous system stuff going on, there can be like a twitchy tendency about Aquarius risings. I know that's true about me. That's because Aquarius is associated with like the electricity of the body. If you are a Pisces rising, you need to make sure you're wearing, shoes when you're walking on the sidewalk, because you might step on glass, because Pisces is associated with the feet. So people that are Pisces risings need to be extra careful with their feet. Just things of that nature are definitely inherent within your rising sign. You're definitely going to see parts of your personality, like I said, coming out through your sun sign, your moon sign, but it's always going to be filtered through your rising sign. So it is the most important. It's the most important sign in your birth chart. The horoscope that you should be reading or watching is based on your rising sign. Unless it specifies like this is a sun sign article or a sun sign horoscope, you really should be reading your rising sign. And that's because the rising sign kind of introduces the life themes. It introduces the direction, the experiences in life. That is like the framework for where your birth chart is going to be, depending on your rising sign. That's going to give the framework of all your life experiences. Like everything is dependent on this rising sign. So I'm going to give some links below. One of them is going to be for a rising sign calculator. All you have to do is enter your time of birth, try to be as accurate as possible, and it will just tell you your rising sign. Also enter a link below for a full birth chart calculator. That's going to be able to give you your rising sign, your moon sign, your sun sign, all of the different signs in your birth chart. It is a little bit more confusing. It's a little bit more in-depth, so you might not understand everything right away on there. But if you'd like to schedule a reading or a personalized horoscope, definitely go to taylorcole.com/services, and I'll be able to really in-depth explain what your birth chart means and what that is going to relate to as far as your life is concerned. If you just have like a simple question as far as like what does this symbol mean in my birth chart, or what is this sign, you can feel free to ask me that at my website taylorcole.com, or Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, Pinterest, as well as YouTube comments, and I'll gladly answer that for you. And then last thing, I'd definitely love it if you would subscribe to my channel. There's a little symbol right here. And if you just click that, you can hit subscribe, and then you'll get the latest updates as soon as they come out. All right, thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you again. Find out your rising sign and read my horoscopes and watch my horoscopes for that sign. All right, bye.